Howdy! Happy Sunday. It's the end of the day. I've finished reading to my kids. They're all in bed, and I had one quick shot thought I wanted to share. I know many of you watching may not be religious or may not be Mormon, but I have one that I'd like to share that I've found has been helpful for me in many situations dealing with people. And so if you're not, please listen because it may be something you can use in life to help you to be able to better get along with other people and make the best of what we have here. But the story comes out of the Book of Mormon, and for those of you who would like to read it, we're in the Book of Alma, in the chapters, 60 and 61. So, what's going on here is there's a war. It's been a protracted war between two groups of people, the Nephites and the Lamanites. Nephites at this time are the good guys. And we're having a problem where the chief general, basically, Captain Moroni, is quite upset because the government, namely the governor, Chief Governor Pehoran, has not been sending provisions and reinforcements as they ought to. He's seen many losses of cities and lives that should have been avoided by simply having been properly reinforced. And so Captain Moroni writes a letter to Pehoran, and it's a really scathing letter, talking about how they've seen they've endured great suffering, even hunger, thirst, fatigue, and all manner of afflictions. And if that were all, they wouldn't complain. But he says to Pehoran, we desire to know the cause of your thoughtless state. Can you think to sit upon your thrones in a state of thoughtless stupor while your enemies are spreading the work of death around you? He accuses them of withholding provisions and saying how they ought to have stirred themselves more readily to the defense of their nation and their brethren. And accuses them of just being there seeking for authority, seeking for their own personal power and gain. And makes a very bold threat. That's the right word. He says that if they don't do anything, that God has said that the inward vessel shall be cleansed first, and then shall the outer vessel be cleansed also. And now, except ye do repent of that which ye have done, and begin to be up and doing, and send forth food unto us, behold, it will be expedient that we contend no more with the Lamanites until we have first cleansed our inward vessel, yea, even the great head of our government. And except ye grant mine epistle, and come and show unto me a true spirit of freedom, and strive to strengthen and fortify our armies, and grant unto them food for their support, behold, I will leave a part of my freemen to maintain this part of our land. And I will come unto you, and if there be any among you that has a desire for freedom, yea, if there be even a spark of freedom remaining, behold, I will stir up insurrections among you, even until those who have desired to usurp power and authority shall become extinct. He's pissed. And he's going to go in, and he has threatened to kill the governor if he does not immediately make right on what he has done wrong. What Captain Moroni does not know is that Pehoran has been dealing with an insurrection. He has literally been expelled from the city where he governs. He has been working and trying to figure out what to do so that he can regain control. He doesn't even know what to do. And many of us who find ourselves in that position where we are accused of things that we didn't do, that are beyond our control, and very clearly threatened, it's very easy for us to become angry ourselves, to become defensive, but it doesn't help us. And so, what does Pehoran say when he reads that letter? Well, he quickly writes a letter back, and he says things like this: I do not joy in your great afflictions, yea, it grieves my soul. And he goes on to explain about the insurrection and what's going on. And he doesn't do a whiny, mealy, well, you don't know what I'm dealing with, I'm doing the best I can kind of thing. He says, he goes on to say things like, and now in your epistle you have censured me, but it mattereth not. I am not angry, but do rejoice in the greatness of your heart. I do not seek for power, save only to retain my judgment seat, that I may preserve the rights and liberty of my people. He's calm. He sees that Captain Moroni, in his censure of in Captain Moroni's censure that it's a great love, and recognizes that and does not do anything. And he goes on to say, I now, Moroni, I do joy in receiving your epistle, for I was somewhat worried concerning what we should do, whether it should be just in us to go against our brethren. But ye have said, except they repent, the Lord hath commanded you that ye should go against them. Pahoran did not know what to do about this, and so he took Moroni's offer to leave part of the army and to come in and to, as it was put, cleanse the inner vessel. So, what does that mean? For me, I have times when I'm talking to people and they may say something in anger or even not in anger, and it can come across entirely wrong. But it's important for us to listen to what they're trying to say. Not just what they're saying or the way it comes across, but what they're actually, the words or the ideas they're actually trying to convey. And take that for what it is. There have been many times when I've dealt with my wife and she's been angry about something and she's lashed out at me or one of our kids because she's angry. But she's not actually angry at me or the kids at that time necessarily. She's angry about something else that's going on. And so being able to take the time and stop and say, that's the problem, not me here, but I can help to solve that problem. When you hear people say things that sound like they could be offensive, they could be callous, and listen to what they're trying to say, because most people aren't that way. Most people are trying their best. Most people are not bigoted. Most people want to do good. And so as we strive to be understanding of one another, not just hearing, but understanding what the person is actually trying to say, we will be able to talk more freely. We'll be able to express ourselves more readily, and we'll be able to move to a better place than where we are now and enjoy the relations that we have. That's the basic gist I have today. I was hoping it was a good message for Sunday. We'll see what comes next. Good night.